Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to work on a couple of derivatives of cosine functions. So we have our examples: cosine square of 3x squared and cosine of 5 theta cubed minus 3 theta squared. So let's go ahead and work on these examples. So first one is cosine square of 3x squared. First I'm going to show you what happens if we take the derivative of cosine square of 3x squared with respect to theta. So we have d over d theta of cosine square of 3x squared. Okay, so as long as x is not a function of theta, x is not a function of theta, x is not written as like 2 theta squared plus 2 theta, or x is not written as theta squared plus 1. It's not a function of theta. We can treat this as a constant, so the derivative of cosine square of 3x squared equals 0, as long as x is not a function of theta. What about if we want to take the derivative of this function with respect to x? Okay, so now we're taking the derivative of this function with respect to x, so that's where we're going to apply the chain rule and stuff like that. So let me write this down as d over dx of cosine of 3x squared whole thing squared. So I wrote this in this form. Now we have a power rule here. So we have this function inside and the function outside. So the derivative of this is going to be equal to 2 times cosine of 3x squared. Okay, so to the 2 minus 1 times the derivative of inside. So it's going to be d over dx of cosine of 3x squared. Okay, so we applied the power rule and the chain rule here. So we took the derivative of outside function, and this is what we get. 2, we brought this 2 here, and then this is the u, and then we have 2 to the minus 1 times the derivative of u. So in the next step we get 2 times cosine of 3x squared to the 1 times d over dx of cosine of 3x squared. Okay, now here we're going to apply the chain rule to this right here function. So in chain rule, the derivative of cosine of u, where u is a function of x, equals negative sine of u times du over dx. And here u equals 3x squared. So we go ahead and plug this in to this right here. We get d over dx of cosine of 3x squared equals negative sine of 3x squared times d over dx of 3x squared. Okay, so basically I plugged this into the chain rule of cosine of u, and we get this right here, and that is equal to negative sine of 3x squared times, what is the derivative of 3x squared? It's 6x. Okay, so this is our final answer for this problem. Let's work on another example. Here we have cosine of 5 theta cubed minus 3 theta squared. What if we want to differentiate with respect to x first? D over dx of cosine of 5 theta cubed minus 3 theta squared. Okay, so as long as theta is not a function of x, is not a function of x, that means theta cannot be written in this form, like 2x plus 3, or it cannot be like anything that has x in it, x squared plus 2x, or theta cannot be equal to square root of x, or any form that contains x in it. So theta is not a function of x, we can treat this as a constant. So the derivative of this whole thing is going to be 0 with respect to x. So this is going to be equal to 0. Okay, but that's the easiest one. But we want to take the derivative of this d over d theta of cosine of 5 theta cubed minus 3 theta square. Okay, so we want to take the derivative of this. So here we're going to apply the chain rule, where we have d over d theta of cosine of u equals negative sine of u times du over d theta. Here u is a function of x, and u is a function of theta, and u equals to 5 theta cubed minus 3 theta square. So now we go ahead and plug in to this. We get d over d theta of cosine of 5 theta cubed minus 3 theta square. 3 theta square equals negative sine of 5 theta cubed minus 3 theta square times d over d theta of 5 theta cubed minus 3 theta square. Okay, so it's the derivative of cosine of u equals negative sine of u times the derivative of u. So this is equal to negative sine of 5 theta cubed minus 3 theta square times the derivative of 5 theta cubed minus 3 theta square. We can write it as d over d theta of 5 theta cubed minus d over d theta of 3 theta square. Okay, we can do that, or we can just take the derivative right here, whichever is easier for you to understand. I can take the derivative right here, but I just wanted to show you how to take the derivative. So then we get negative sine of 5 theta, this is 5 theta cubed minus 3 theta square times the derivative of 5 theta cubed is 15 theta square minus the derivative of 3 theta square is 6 theta. So 6 theta right here. So this is our final answer. Negative sine of 5 theta cubed minus 3 theta square times 15 theta square minus 6 theta. Okay, so this is the end of this problem. So hopefully this helps. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.